Okay. Okay. Hi, welcome to a brand new live watercolor tutorial. Today we'll be painting realistic watercolor pansies. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to set up my camera here. And there is an outline in the description of this video for you to download this outline here and then transfer onto your watercolor paper. And there are also 3 different kinds of reference photos that you can use. And I'm going to go over my supplies here. So I'm using cold press watercolor paper from Arches, and I am painting at a 5x7 inch size. And my brushes, I am using this size 8 round brush from Princeton Neptune and size 4 round brush and this size 0 round brush. And my paints that I am going to be using are, I think I'm going to use some of my Winsor & Newton paints. So I'm going to use this Winsor Yellow here, and I have Permanent Mauve from Winsor & Newton. This is Winsor Violet, and this one is Alizarin Crimson. All these are from Winsor & Newton. So I just have some various purples and a yellow. And then for my green, I am using Serpentine Green from Daniel Smith. And yeah, all of these are linked below in the description for you as well. Whew. Okay, hi guys. Hi Joyce, good morning. Liz, hi. Sarah, Lucas, and Sarah Reed, hi. How are you all doing? Okay, so the first thing I am going to do, or like what I'm thinking about doing, is working one petal at a time and using the wet and wet method for each petal. So I think I will move my camera a little closer for you so you can see better. Good morning, Michelle. And Lisette, hi. Okay, so I am going to start with this flower here. And this flower is from the first reference photo that I linked in the description. Like there's a link that will take you to the outline and reference photo, so you click that link, and then the first link in the reference photo list is this one. Okay, so I'm going to start with this petal right here. But first, before I do get started, I do want to mix a few different kinds of purples and put my yellow here on my palette just so that I am ready, because when I use the wet and wet method, I want to place my colors as quickly as I can before it dries. So I'm going to put some yellow here on my palette. And then I am going to, I'm trying to clean my brush very well here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this Winsor Violet and put it on my palette. I'll probably just use these colors right from the pan. I don't think I'll mix anything in them because they're already pretty colors that I want to use. But I'm just going to put this on my palette, and I think I'm also going to, I'm going to drag some of this off. Okay, and then I'm going to put some of this alizarin crimson on here. So yeah, I think, oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. Okay. So basically, like 2 different kinds of purples and then a yellow. Okay, so I am going to first wet this entire petal with water. And I have paint still in my brush. Okay. Okay, so I'm wetting this entire petal, just this one. Oh my goodness, I keep having technical difficulties this week. Okay, my phone is like falling asleep, which is weird because I'm live and usually I shouldn't do that. Okay, so I want to add some yellow right here. So I'm going to drop some yellow in, and then I am going to take some of this purple and drop some in kind of after that yellow, like that. And then I'm going to take more of that purple and drop some in at the edge. And I'm going to clean my brush now. I'm going to kind of move this paint around just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to take some of this other purpley color, it's more kind of like a pink purple, and drop a little bit of that in, just to add some variation. And then I'm going to take more of that purple again, drop some in here. Yeah, this is just the first layer, so we'll let this layer dry and then we will add some detail to these petals. Okay, so we'll let that dry, and then now we're going to do the same thing on another petal. And I'm thinking this one here because we don't want to paint an adjacent one because this is wet and we don't want the colors to bleed together. And I'm also going to go ahead and add some more purple to my palette and have that ready. So let me know in the chat if you are painting this with me or if you're just hanging out. I'd love to know. Yeah, so this petal is basically purple. It doesn't have any yellow in it or anything like the other petal. So yeah, I'm just wetting this entire petal here. Okay, and then I'm going to drop in some purple. And it looks like, oops, there's like a shadow. Like over here is kind of lighter, like a lighter purple, and then over here is kind of darker. So I'm gonna add a bit more purple over here. And if it is pooling like this, just dry your brush and then kind of place it and kind of soak that up, because yeah, I have a little too much water. Okay. I might also add some of this other purple, kind of add that in. Just to add a little bit more interest. So it's not just one type of purple we see. Okay, yeah, so we'll let that dry. Sarah Lucas says, I'm painting with you. And then Sarah says that she is also painting along. Yay! Okay, so these petals are still wet, and we probably don't want to go ahead and paint these ones because these are still wet. So let's move on to this flower. This flower, the reference photo I used, I think is the second one, where it has like a lot of different kinds of pansies. Like it's kind of like a pansy bush. Or, do they grow in bushes? I don't think they do, but like a pansy bunch. I can't remember what one I used, but this one's I'm probably going to paint it the same way I did this one. So I'm going to wet this whole entire petal here. And I want to leave this area here like no water. I want to leave that because I kind of wish I did that over here. So where there is going to be yellow, I am not painting over that with water. And my water is kind of purple, but it's okay. All right, so it's wet. Now I am going to take some yellow. I'm actually going to use a different brush here so I don't have to clean that one. And I'm going to drop in some yellow. Okay. That's too much. Let's drag some of that off. It's a little too much yellow. There. Okay, and then I am going to take purple and drop some in over here and along the edge. Oh yeah, you're right, Sarah. Yeah, it's like a pansy bouquet. Okay, so yeah, we'll let that dry. And now we will move on to another petal. So I'm thinking this one here. And that petal is going to be a lot like this one. It's basically purple. So I'm going to wet the entire petal with water. making sure it's wet. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this purple, drop some in. And I'm going to take some of that alizarin crimson. Drop a little bit of that in too. Okay. All right. Okay, so as we wait for those petals to dry, I still don't want to paint these yet either. Let's go ahead and paint in the first layer of the stem and the leaves. So I am going to use my size 4 round brush, and the grain I'm using is the serpentine grain. And I'm just gonna put some here on my palette. And I want this first layer to be very light, so I want to add a lot of water to this. I'm going to start over here. So yeah, we will just do this first layer, and then when the first layer on the green dries, you will then do another layer and add more detail and contrast. I'm going to switch to my tiny size 0 round brush and paint in this part. Have you ever painted pansy flowers before? Let me know. I have not. It's my first time. I've always wanted to though. I've seen some really pretty watercolor pansies before, and every time I really wanted to paint one. Sarah Reed says that she has painted pansy flowers before. I don't know why, but flowers are challenging for me. I do want to improve my skills with them. Like both realistic and like loose flowers. Both of them are challenging for me. But I guess painting loose flowers is more challenging, at least for me. Good morning, Hannah. How are you today? I hope you're well. Do any of you guys have pansy flowers in your garden? I don't, but I feel like next year I want to. Okay, so all of the green is painted in now. And I think that, yeah, these petals seem pretty dry. So let's go ahead and paint in this one here. Okay, so the reference photo for this first pansy right here is the very first reference photo I linked to. Okay, and it looks like this one is different than both of these. So this one has some purple, and then there's like a light purple in the middle and then a more dark purple here. So I am going to first fill in this whole entire petal with water. Ashton says, I used to have them. My dog killed them. Oh, that sucks. Hannah says, loose flowers with watercolor I find very difficult, which is frustrating because I love painting loose florals in oil and acrylic. Yes, Hannah, I feel the same way. I love painting loose flowers with oils. And I'm always like really wanting to learn how to like paint loose flowers with watercolor well. And every time I do, like most of the time, they never turn out. Like they just turn out like blobs of paint. Okay, so yeah, I am filling all of this in. And now I'm going to take purple. I think this is Windsor Violet. And I'm going to drop some in here along the edge. And then here. And I'm going to take some of that alizarin crimson too and add a little bit of that for some variation. And now I'm just kind of moving around this paint a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, so we'll let that dry. I'm sorry. Hi, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Thank goodness, I keep having technical difficulties. Darn it. Sorry guys. Lisette? Yeah, it's blurry. Can you guys see well, or is it blurry? Okay, can you okay, so Sarah says that she can hear me. Is the screen still blurry? I'm sorry guys. I guess this just happens sometimes with live videos. Okay, yeah, so I'm wetting this whole entire petal. And I'm going to drop in some purple. Like right here, and then on the outer edge. Sarah says the screen is okay. It's usually a little blurry for me, but I think it's normal on my end. Okay. Ugh, I hate having technical difficulties. It's stressful. Okay. Okay, Lucette says that hers is good. Okay. Okay, so I want to wait to paint this petal because this one's wet. So let's move on to the other pansy. And we will basically do the same thing with these two petals as we did with these two. So I'm going to wet this entire petal with water. Okay, and then I'm going to take some purple, drop it in. And then some of that alizarin crimson I was using, drop some of that in. Then I'm kind of maybe this paint around just a little bit, but I don't want to mess with it too much. So this looks okay. Now I'm going to do the other petal. So I'm wetting this whole entire petal with water. Then dropping in some purple. Okay, and this petal here is still wet, so I still want to wait to paint that one. I'm going to take my size 4 round brush here and paint in this bud. I probably won't use the wet and wet method. I'm just painting with like a light purple. Okay. And since we're waiting for the petals to dry, let's go ahead and paint, like add more detail to the leaves and the stems. So again, I'm using the Serpentine green from Daniel Smith. I'm going to add some to my palette. So what are you guys up to this weekend? What are your plans? I am going to visit my parents, so that'll be nice to see them. Okay, I basically used like all of the reference photos for these leaves and just kind of drew them from my mind, I guess. But I think, okay, I'm thinking. I think I'm going to start with this petal, or maybe I'll start with this one here. And I do want a line in the middle, so I'm going to paint like one side of this leaf darker than the other. So the middle is kind of dark, and then the outer edge here is a little lighter. And then I'm going to, on the other side of this leaf, I am going to paint it darker and then have the inner part be lighter. Like that. And when this dries, I will probably go back in and add even more green and detail to it. Thank you, Sarah. She says the pansies are beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to adding more detail to them when they are fully dry. And now I am going to go ahead and paint in this leaf here. We'll do the same thing. So the like one side darker. And I'm going to kind of wipe some of the outside away so it's a little lighter than the inner side. Like this. Okay, and then the other side is darker on the outside and then lighter on the inner side. And now I'm going to work on this leaf here. Hannah says, I haven't painted pansies before in any medium. This is looking so pretty. It's going to be another beautiful painting, Allison. I'll definitely be painting this too. Thanks, Hannah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this painting, like seeing it finished. I feel like it is going to be really pretty. And I think for this leaf here, this side, I'll make darker. And then kind of drag some of the outside away. To add a little highlight. Then keep a lookout in the community tab on my channel. I will be putting up a poll maybe in a few days for you guys to vote on what the next tutorial will be for next Friday. But if you do have any suggestions, I am open to hearing them. Also, in case you don't know, right now, Nature with Watercolor, which is my monthly membership for nature-inspired watercolor artists, it is closing on Monday. So if you would like to join and become a founding member, I did link it in the description below. Hi, Joe. She says, just popped in. Your pansies are beautiful. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Okay, now I'm going to take my size 0 round brush here. And I'm going to paint on the stems. So this stem, I'm thinking is probably like a little dark up here because there's probably like a shadow. And then I'm going to make the right side a little darker than the left. So I just cleaned my brush. And then I have some water in my brush and I'm going to kind of blend this with water, but I do want to try and make the left side of the stem a little lighter. I might have to go back in when this is dry and add a bit more green to darken up the right side. And then yeah, same over here. I'm thinking this upper part is dark. And then I'm going to darken the right side. Then I'm cleaning my brush and then blending with some water. Okay. And this bud right here, I used the third reference photo, which is the one with the flowers and the boot. So that's like what I used. And I'm going to paint in the stem. I'm going to have it be darker on the left side. Hi, Des. I hope you're doing well. She says, oh my, those are gorgeous. Thank you. Do you think you'll paint some pansies later? And I'm going to now paint in the rest of these leaves. So there's one right here. I felt like I was going to sneeze there for a minute. I'm going to paint this side darker. And then I'm cleaning my brush. And then with some water, I'm going to blend and try to create like a gradient. And then leave like a little sliver of that lighter green at the top. Dad says I might do them later, not sure yet. So many paintings to finish still. Oh, I know how that is. I have so many paintings that I need to do. Like, I'm doing a collaboration right now with someone to paint wood slices. And I have like 10 more I have to paint. And I kind of want to get them done next week. But yeah, I know how that feels. Too many paintings, too many ideas, not a lot of time. Okay, I kind of wish I left some of that lighter green down here. I'm going to kind of drag some away. Okay. Hi, Fancy Garden. They say, hi, it's Heather. Oh, Heather. Hi, Heather. She says, just popping in. Early morning here, just woke up. These are looking great. Can't wait to paint them on replay. Awesome. Do you have a garden YouTube channel? The Fancy Garden, is that a YouTube channel for you? I'll have to look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to finish this last petal here, and then we will go in to each one of these and add more detail to them. Okay. Heather says, I want to have one, but I only have a couple videos. She says, too shy to record. Oh yeah, I know how that is. When I first started my YouTube channel, oops, there's green in my brush. I should clean that better. Okay. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was so shy. It definitely gets easier the more you do it. So yeah, I'm just wetting this petal with water. Okay, and then I'm going to drop in some purple. I'm going to drop some in down here. And then along the edge. And I'm going to drop some of that alizarin crimson. Then I'm cleaning my brush and kind of like open those colors a little bit. Okay, that's good for now. Heather says, you are great now. Thanks. Yeah, I'm definitely not as shy as I was. especially with my live videos, like my first live videos, I was really like nervous and shy. Hannah says, it has to be so scary to make that first YouTube video. Oh yes, it is scary. It is definitely scary. But after the first view, it becomes a lot easier. And then you learn to not care. Not care like what people think. Okay. So now we are going to add more detail to these petals because now they're dry. So I'm looking at that first reference photo for this flower here. Okay. In the very middle is yellow. This is yellow here. And then maybe a little bit of green, but I'll just go ahead and first paint with yellow. And maybe go back in with some green in the shadows. So I'm taking this Windsor yellow here. And I'm just going to paint this yellow. And then paint all this yellow because this is all yellow right here. Like that. And I'm going to clean my brush. And with some water in my brush, I'm going to kind of blend the edges. Not too much. I don't want to blend this too much into the purple because then it'll just look muddy. Okay. And then I'm going to wait for that to dry. Actually, I guess I don't have to. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm going to take this Windsor Violet. This time, I don't want that much water, only enough to where it's easy to paint with. I want this to be fairly like dark and opaque and bright. So I'm going to start painting in the lines I see, like this. I am using my size 0 round brush for this. I'm looking at my reference photo often. I want to be sure that I am painting this as realistic as I can. Okay. And then there is a line, like a little fold in the middle like this. Then I'm going to go around the edge here. My brush strokes are like in the same direction as the petal. And some of these petals, they're not dark like this all the way around. Some of them have some lighter areas. So I think I'm going to keep this lighter here. And then kind of go back over here and add some darker purple. Okay. I'm going to move on to another petal now. I might go back into this one and add a bit more to it. Okay, and then this petal here has some like a few dark veins, like dark lines. One's like this. Then another one. Then another one like here. And I kind of want this area here to be a little darker. Okay. So those of you who are painting along with me, how is it going? This petal is kind of the same as this one, except this one looks like it's more dark, like there's more dark purple. Then there's like a little line like here. Aw, Sarah says not good. Had to redo mine. That's okay. I actually find that my best paintings happen when I like have to start over, or when I do like a practice round, like where I practice what I want to paint and then I actually do like the real painting. I think I'm going to turn my paper this way. Okay, now I kind of, my brush, I have just a little bit of water in it. I'm just going to kind of move around this paint. Okay, now I'm taking more of that purple and going to add some little lines here. Sarah Lucas says, mine isn't great either. We'll have to try again later. We'll keep persisting with this one for now. And Des says, these flowers are so tricky. They are tricky. To be honest, when I was painting the first layer, the wet and wet layer, I was very unsure how they would turn out. I was kind of scared. The wet and wet layer is kind of scary. But now that I'm adding this detail, I feel like that they'll turn out okay. A fancy garden, or Heather says, pansies are hard to paint. They are easy to grow though. You probably have some in your garden, Heather, right? Do you have some in your garden? Okay, I'm gonna add some purple, some dark purple here. And I'm gonna add some more dark purple here for like a shadow. So it's probably darker here, and then blend a little bit like that with some water. And then kind of paint in some detail. Heather says, I have some Johnny jump ups that have hung on through the heat, but I need to plant a new batch of pansies for fall and winter. Yeah, I was wondering, I didn't really look about like details about this flower, like when they bloom. So they can also bloom in the fall. My flowers, like a lot of them, are dying. Because yeah, it's been so hot here, so dry here in Indiana where I live. And to be honest, sometimes I forget to water my flowers, and it turns out to be like a really hot day, and they're really unhappy. Adding these details is very calming to me right now. Anyone else find adding details to your paintings calming? By the way, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, that would be awesome if you did. It just tells YouTube that people like this video and they'll share it to more people. That would mean a lot to me. Okay. Whew. I'm reading some of your comments here. Des says, I'm loving yours though. Thank you, Des. Hannah says, I love using wet and wet method. I do that a lot with butterflies, but it's kind of scary at first because it doesn't always do what you want it to. Yes. That is. It's always scary to use that method. Liz says, I tried to go freestyle with these pansies. Mine are a little weird looking. And she says, my sunflowers were in their full glory yesterday, looking droopy this morning after a monsoon shower last night. Yeah, my sunflowers, I think I still have a few, but I like to cut mine from my garden and put them in my house because they just make me so happy. Now I'm going to paint with yellow in the middle of this one here. And then kind of on the outer edge here where there's already some paint. And then I'm cleaning my brush, and then with some water, I'm going to kind of blend this a little bit into the dry paint. And then when this dries, like this one over here, when this dries too, which it's probably dry now, but I will add a bit more in the middle, like some more detail. Heather says, I like the cool weather. She says, they like the cool weather. They are great in spring and fall. Ooh, maybe I'll have to plant some. Fall is coming up. Okay, I'm grabbing some more purple. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on this petal. I'm going to start here. Liz says, I got up this morning and made a list of paintings I want to finish. I will not put that number down. Wait, I will not put that number down for all my friends here to see. That's too funny, Liz. It's probably more than you want it to be, right? Hi, Adriana. She says, hi, I just saw you were painting this. It is looking amazing. I'll try it later. Awesome. Liz says, more than you can imagine. And she says, the older you get, the worse it gets. All I can say is paint every day. Yeah, I think that's good advice for every artist, to paint every day, if you can. I don't, but I wish I did. I wish I painted every day. I try to, but sometimes it doesn't happen. I really like this texture from the first wet and wet layer, like the wet and wet layer, so I don't want to paint over all of this. Kind of want to leave some of that. And plus some areas of these petals are light. And then some don't, like some areas don't have details like this, like these lines. So yeah, you don't have to do this detail all the way around. You can leave some with little detail. I need to turn my paper a little bit. Liz says, plus I have 7 drawings of the fungi for the September challenge. You have 7 drawings ready, like to paint? That's awesome. Like I don't have any except the 2 I filmed for the membership. Yeah, I'm not prepared for that challenge yet. I need to start preparing for it. By the way, if you guys don't know what that is, I am hosting a fall fungi art challenge on Instagram, where in September we will be painting 15 different fungi in 30 days. So if you want to participate, you can find the details on my Instagram page, Allison Lane Art, or visit the hashtag Fall Fungi Challenge. And I'm painting some purple here to kind of create like a little shadow. Then blending with some water. Joe says, have a great day, everyone. I have to go back to work. I plan on painting the pansies this weekend. Yay! Well, have a great day at work. I'm looking forward to seeing your pansies. I'm cleaning my brush, and I have a little bit of purple still in my brush, and I'm just going to kind of use this to add some light details. Liz says, these pansies are so enjoyable and happy. I will try another study later. And then she says, I'm off to work too. Bye, fellow artists. Bye, Liz. And since this petal overlaps this one, I'm going to add like a shadow. I'm not even looking at any reference photos. Which probably is not a good idea. Okay, I'm looking at some now. I think these are turning out nicely. Yeah, to be honest, I was pretty nervous about this tutorial today. Because as I told you earlier, I don't know, I'm uncomfortable painting flowers. Like, I still don't feel confident enough. But these are turning out nice. Heather says, they are turning out so good, thanks. Hi, Cindy. She says, good morning, just popping in to say hi. And those look so pretty. But it's back to work for me. Can't wait to paint these later. I hope you have a great day at work. Thanks for saying hi. Okay, so this petal, there's probably like a shadow here and here and here. So I'm gonna add some purple, some dark purple here, like this. And then blend with some water. Then I'm going to add some more dark purple here. Clean my brush. Blend. And then dark purple here. Clean my brush, blend with water. Sarah says, you're so good at them, and I can't believe you've never painted pansies before. These look beautiful. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some lines. And then I'm going to add a little bit more purple up here. Blend with some water. Okay. going to paint this bud here. So I used the boot reference photo. It's like a boot with the pansies in the boot. And I just kind of like, the bud is actually like in the photo green, but I decided to just paint it purple. So it looked more like a, I don't know. I just wanted to paint it purple instead. So that's what I did. And I'm taking purple here. And I'm going to add some along the edge of the leaf, like this. And blend with some water. Then I'm going to paint a few lines. Okay. Now I'm going to work in the middle of these pansies. So when I look at reference photos, it looks like there's like a tiny little bit of green in it, and then yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of green and then like a little round circle. So I'm gonna use this serpentine green that I was using for the leaves. And I'm just going to add a little bit of green. Like this. And then paint like a circle. Like that. Okay, and I'm going to take some yellow. This is Windsor yellow I was using. I'm going to add a bit more yellow. Yeah, so now I'm at like the stage of my painting where I'm just kind of asking myself, what else do I need to add? How can I make this painting better? I'm going to take some of the alizarin crimson color, which is like a pink purple. I'm going to put some of that into my petals too. This will just give the petals more interest, so they're just not one color. So I'm just adding it in some areas. Some areas I like kind of blend it in. Some areas I also make like little lines. Heather says, I love that serpentine green. I need to get that color. Yes, you should. That color is my favorite green. I'm being completely serious. It is my favorite green, this green. I never want to use any other kinds of greens now, except leaf green from Holbein. Leaf green from Holbein is also a really pretty green that I use a lot. Just kind of trying to blend this a little bit. Okay. I added a little too much. Kind of messed up. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add some of that alizarin crimson to this. Okay, now I'm going to add a bit more to the leaves. I'm going to make some areas darker. So to do that, I need to get a paint color, so I'll be back in like a few seconds. Okay. I'm going to mix a little bit of Payne's Gray from Daniel Smith into my green to mute it a little bit to make the green darker. I also, if you don't have like Payne's Gray, you can also use purple, like mix a little bit of purple into your green, and that will make it like a really pretty muted darker green. So I'm taking the serpentine green and then mixing a little bit of this Payne's Gray into it. And I'm going to add it to where, like the areas where I want there to be like a shadow. And I did not mix enough at all. I'm going to mix some more. And I'm also not using as much water either. And cleaned my brush, and I'm going to blend with some water. Then, yeah, I'm adding this green in the middle of every leaf, like where the side is the darker side, and then a little bit on the edge of the opposite side. Hi, Shannon. She says, "Good morning. I can't paint at the moment. I have everything set up for later." That is beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, I'm basically placing the color and then blending with some water. I need to mix more of that green color. Sarah says, "We'll have to get the Winsor Newton Violet for my pansies." Yeah, you can, but if you don't have to, you can always just use whatever kind of purple you have. But yeah, if you want to get it, you can. I do have it linked in the description. Shanna says, these remind me of my sweet father-in-law. He passed away last year. He always had pansies in his planters on his patio. They were his favorite flower. Oh, that's so sweet, Shannon. This would be a nice painting for you to have then, like to remember him by. You can paint it and hang it on your wall. Shannon says, great idea. My husband will appreciate that. Aw. Sarah says, I have put my sunflower picture on my pegboard. Oh, that's cool, Sarah. So you have like a pegboard in your like art space? Kind of like what I do. Like I hang some art for mine and then some like supplies. Sarah says, in the corner of my bedroom, have a small apartment. Nice. Sounds like the perfect place though, like a nice little area to paint and feel inspired. Okay, I think I'm done. I think I'm pretty much done. So yeah, I will go ahead and give you a little close-up. Thank you, Des. She says, truly stunning. Thank you. Shannon says, have you ever tried the Mission Gold Tube Set? A friend of mine gave me a set. I'm not really sure what to think of them yet. They are very vibrant and true to color. Not much fading. Mission Gold Tube Set. I have not tried that. Has anyone else tried that? Yeah, I wish I can tell you what I think of it, but I haven't ever tried it. Thank you, Heather. She says it's gorgeous. Fallon, hi Fallon. She says, I've been watching at work and now just getting a chance to say hi right at the end. Well, I'm glad that you could at least say hi. Joyce says, very nice. Thank you. Shannon says, stunning. Thanks. Thank you, Sarah Reed and Sarah Lucas. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend too, Joyce. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera around here. Thank you guys. I'm reading some more of your comments. Ashton says, I've tried them. They are very beautiful paints. Okay, so Ashton has tried them, Shannon. So that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I apologize about the technical issues at the beginning, but we got through it. I had a lot of fun painting these. I love them. I love how they turned out. I'm so happy about them. If you finished, feel free to post to Instagram if you want and tag me so I can see them. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I had fun. Hopefully I'll see you next Friday at 10 a.m. for the next live tutorial. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And thank you, Shannon. She says, you are such a joy to my day. Sweet lady. It's such a mean, crazy world. It's nice to paint with you. Oh, thank you, Shannon. That means a lot to me. Des says, you have an awesome week too. Thanks, Des. Sarah says, bye, have a good weekend. You too. Heather says, have a great weekend. You too, guys. Bye.